30 years ago today, Princess Diana gave that explosive Panorama interview revealing her struggles with bulimia and the troubles within her marriage.
Yeah, it's exactly 30 years ago. It was watched, in the end, by 200 million viewers worldwide. She spoke, of course, to a much younger in those days, Martin Bashir, who was later found to have gained her trust through deceitful behaviour, breaching BBC editorial rules. Well, journalist Andy Webb, who exposed that scandal and forced the release of thousands of documents, says that much more was happening behind the scenes than anyone realised at the time, including, of course, Diana. It's not putting too fine a point on this to say that it's your honest belief that if that programme had never been made, there's a very good chance that Princess Diana would still be alive and amongst us.
Certainly, you said a very good chance. You can absolutely say that, and reflect that. So Diana will be 64 years old, you know, a grandmother with 5 children, and enjoying her times with them. And that is, I think, where it becomes utterly heartbreaking for members of her family to reflect that, to reflect on that. I mean, I put the question to her brother, Charles Spencer, you know, is there a line that you can draw from Panorama to Paris, to that terrible night where she, in the car crash? And he says, well, yes, there is. And he answers very calmly and responsibly and reflectively that what had happened as a result of the interview, Diana had, pushed away the people around her, in particular her Secretary Patrick Jeffson. She'd been told that her chauffeur was a spy and so on, so he's gone. She has no confidence in the police and official security, so she ends up 18 months later in a Mercedes, being driven by a drunken driver. And Charles ends by saying, frankly, yes, the consequences of the interview were lethal. Because
it messed with her mind and her grip on reality.
Messed with her mind and messed with the practicalities of her life, that the trusted people around her were ousted.
And you've uncovered that it was even involving the sort of strange devices that she was using, and he was used, as was encouraged to use to record things, and actually it sort of became sort of a furniture. This distrust became like the furniture around her.
That's a very good way of describing it, actually, the mental furniture. People have said that the word has been used that Diana was paranoid. In fact, Prince William used the word himself, and, with all due respect, that seems to me almost a little unkind, because that sounds like some kind of psychiatric diagnosis. Diana had been assured by a man from the British Broadcasting Corporation, Martin Bashir, in his suit and his wire-rimmed glasses. He had documents, forged and fake documents, but been assured that her life was in danger. Her life was in danger. She was going to be taken out. That is the reality of it. Diana, at that point in her life, had good reason, very good reason, to know that her phone had been tapped in what was called Squidgy Gate. Remember that?
Of course.
Squidgy Gate.
Yeah.
So her phone had been tapped. And then the BBC come along and with purported proof that she's going to be killed. Now, do you have to be paranoid to take cognizance of that and act on that? And
or just be listening to what feels like very trusted, sensible advice. That's the way, you could interpret it. I want to just jump in and give the BBC's position on this. It says the corporation appointed Lord Dyson to investigate how Martin Bashir obtained the 1995 Panorama interview with Diana, Princess of Wales. The Dyson report was published in 2021. The BBC accepted its findings in full and publicly apologised for its part in the report's conclusions. But you, yourself, have fought for the release of several thousand internal BBC documents in order to carry on this investigation. What particularly have they revealed to you that raises concern?
Well, just very, very briefly say, it is my firm view, and obviously we to express what the BBC say, but I really genuinely feel that the BBC, to a large degree, are sort of using the Dyson report as something of a shield, because what they've said to me on many occasions is, look, when I have questions, but look, Lord Dyson Lord Dyson never asked. Lord Dyson never asked, so why should you? I mean, the specific documents that I've been seeking most recently of all were to actually find out what was going on behind the scenes as recently as 2020. The interview, as we say, was 30 years ago today, but it is my belief that there was an initial cover-up, and then, if you like, a cover-up of the cover-up, and that's what I was trying to get to the bottom of.
When, based on your investigations, did the BBC, as an institution, realise that something was up? When did they smell a rat on their Panorama, on their huge scoop? So they were very proud of.
I can tell you precisely when they smelt that rat. It was actually March the 23rd, 1996, and that is the day when it was confirmed for the first time. And
it's a year after the interview?
No, the interview was November of 95, so we're talking March of 96. So it's
longer than a year,
4 months.
yeah.
OK. No, 4 months?
4 months, yeah.
Oh.
4 months. 4 or 5 months. They're gone.
Right,
whatever.
yeah.
4 months. Very soon afterwards, they know, for definite, that their reporter has done 3 bad things. He has commissioned forged documents, these bank statements that people have had.
Yeah, the ones he showed to her brother.
Exactly. So he's
persuaded him to persuade his sister to do the interview.
Get into that. So he's commissioned forged documents. He's deployed them to a member of the public, i.e. Charles Spencer, and then, when questioned about it within the BBC, he has lied about it. That is what BBC managers know at that point in time. But a lot of things they don't know, the actual incredible lurid details of what Martin Bashir told Princess Diana, they don't know that. But they know that much. They know that much. And the big, big question is, at that point, do you not have a duty of care, if nothing else, to go to this member of the public and say, look, terribly sorry, unbelievably, this guy working for us has had forgeries, and he's shown them to you, and he's lied about it when we questioned him. They did not do that.
Is the reason that attitude persisted for so long that fundamentally they thought there was nothing wrong with the interview itself? The interview, he didn't put words into her mouth. She spoke very frankly about her relationship and about herself. Did they feel that somehow the ends had justified the means? I
think you're right, to be absolutely fair. I think, yes. I think there was probably a belief that the interview probably was legitimate. But to get... You have to do an awful lot of sort of blinkering to persuade yourself that the forgeries, the lying, was not relevant.
Yeah. May I ask you what you think the effect of William will be of this book, Charles, and indeed Harry as well? Have they been involved in any way? Have you spoken to them in any way? Have they responded?
Well, I mean, Charles Spencer had spoken to him a great deal.
King Charles.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no, Charles Spencer, no, not. And obviously, you know, there's a point where, you know, discretion comes in and just general sort of good sense. I mean, the fact is, I say in the book there, the way I put it is this, that it's been put to me by a close associate, if you like, of William, that this is a wound that will not heal, will not heal. William, now he's 43 years old. He's 7 years older than his mum was when she died.
Gosh.
Right? His oldest boy is 12.
Yeah.
William was 13 when he saw this interview go out.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say that you perceived in the last few years that William is this now in the sort of foothills of middle age. He's sort of decided. He knows who he is and what he wants, and he knows what he wants to see. I've been assured that William has observed the work I've done. It is hugely valued in those words. I can say that I was asked to send a pre-publication copy of the book, which we did. In fact, almost, if you like, the first one off the press, which has been received, and I have received a warm note from his people.
Good.
Well, it's fascinating to talk to you. Thank you so much, Panorama. The Portrayal of Princess Diana is the book. We should say we did approach Martin Bashir for a comment, and he hasn't responded. But thank you very much indeed.
Andy Webb, thank you.
Lovely.